This road trip is going to be a pivotal road trip, according to some reports out there. So Sixers started their 5-game road trip last night. Rough loss to the Pacers. We were down Tobias, Morris, and Covington, and Melton. So I think Tobias Harris not playing last night really proved his worth to some people. Teja, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on how we looked without Tobias last night. But with the trade deadline approaching, we've heard that this road trip might shape who the Sixers go after. So after game one, do you think anything has changed as far as the type of player that we need?
Go ahead, Teja.
No, I don't. I'm still firmly where I was before. I still think we need another ball handler who can chip in with like a 12 to 15 points a game. I think we need someone else who can play make, who can score. I think the other guy's got to be at least a slightly better defensive player than Maxey, someone who can guard the tougher guard on the other side. I still like the Caruso and Tyus Jones if we're going cheaper and you maybe want to bring them off the bench. If you want to go bigger and higher salary, Brogdon, DeJounte Murray, Bruce Brown, that way they could probably start and then Melton would probably come off the bench. But what worries me more than anything else, honestly, is Melton's back. He apparently played with that back injury all last year. They said he was fine coming into camp, and then now he's missing about a month with it. And we know how backs go, man. They can just linger and seem okay, and then a week later, you pull something, and then you're back to where you were. So I think now more than ever, we need to have some urgency on having a player as an insurance policy, or maybe just have a guy start at 2 next to Max, so you can also bring the ball up, and that way you can bring Melton off the bench and not overdo his minutes.
Repeat the question again, so I need to dissect this.
The question is, so after game one of this road trip, because they're saying that this road trip is going to be very pivotal as far as who we go after. After game one, what you saw last night, do you think anything has changed as far as the type of player that we need?
No, I wouldn't necessarily say it changed. I would say that whoever you bring in needs to have some form of versatility to be able to play multiple positions and defend multiple positions. That I think is a premium. You have to be able to do that because you may play with Melton, you play with Kelly, you may play with Maxey. Yeah. So they have to have some form of versatility. That's the one thing that I think is still important, probably the most important. Be able to knock down a shot. It would be helpful if they can knock down shots and play make, or be somewhat of a primary ball handler at times, just to give the team more of a expanded talent level when it comes to playoff time with foul trouble or anything that may come down the road. So, because we are looking at a situation where we're forgetting that our primary ball handler for the last 2 years isn't there. So The more ball handlers that you can get, the better.
Obviously, Tobias Harris, he's like an Iron Man. The guy plays. I can't even remember that many games he's missed since he's been with the Sixers, which is wild. But he missed last night with the illness. And do you guys, I know, Eric, you and I are the pro Tobias guys in the show, Teja, not so much. But did last night kind of show you how important Tobias Harris is to this team? Because, we started Beverly at the other guard. Oubre moved to 3, Batum moved to 4. In that lineup, Oubre was 2 for 5, 4 points, minus 14 plus minus last night. Beverly, 4 points, minus 15 plus minus last night. Batum 10 points. But it just seemed like not having that third guy in that starting lineup kind of hurt us last night. And also Siakam kind of dominated whoever was guarding him last night.
I would say that it's important to have Tobias in the lineup because he can play and he can really help us. I wouldn't necessarily knock the other guys because of it. I I think if the way they played, we probably would have lost with Tobias last night too.
Probably.
So, yes, I think he's more important than some people probably think he is. But in order for us to win, we need him playing well also. So I don't think him missing the game necessarily was a way of proving that. I think it was the collective amount of guys missing games that kind of proves the point more so than just one guy. If you're taking him and Melton out, you're essentially taking out 2 of your top 6 players.
Yeah,
2 of your top 5 in some ways. So that's going to matter. If you go around the league and you take 2 of their top 5 players out, even if it's option 4 and option 5, it can hurt that team.
Yeah. And Morris
and option whatever option you want Melton to be.
Yep.
How are you concerned with the back injury? Any back injury really with the player?
Well, I mean, back injuries are troubling
tricky
because one, you can't really gauge how a guy feels because the guy can be ready to go, he can look fine, then all of a sudden can't go anymore.
Yeah.
So if you look at the history of guys that have had a back issue, it's been something that kind of never really went away.
Yeah, look at Simmons. He's had that back injury for like 3 years.
Yes, it never really goes away. So hopefully this is something he can get over and be able to come back and, get on the court in a consistent way.
Back to your Tobias. I mean, Tobias is huge. He's I never wanted to give him away as much as you want to say that I'm the not the Tobias guy on the show.
You're a crumble cookies guy. Everyone knows that.
If you're going to replace him, he's got to do a lot of things Tobias does. I think we were talking about Bogdanovich in Detroit, for instance. Like, I wouldn't want to add him unless, if you added him, that'd be like a Tobias replacement, right? And even that, you're losing defense. You're gaining shots, but you're losing defense. So you have to replace his defense with someone else who can kind of pick up the slack. He's a tough guy to replace. I mean, he really is. I mean, it's easy just to say, like, when you go online, you see, get rid of him. It's like, those are the same people that always want to fire your coach without having any clue on who you're going to replace the guy with. I'm more of if there's a plan after the guy's gone, then I'm okay with life after him. But I don't just want to get rid of someone to get rid of someone. So, I mean, yeah, I'd still be willing to part ways with Tobias. He's not a deal breaker for me, but I'd like to know what the replacement's going to be and what the plan's going to be after that. So, yeah.
Fair. And Tobias last night was sitting back watching that game, seeing us get dominated without him in the line. We see all those people want to trade me, see what happens.
Eating crumble cookies from the sidelines.
Damn right, man. He deserves each one of them.
And for games that Tobias is out, Oubre needs to step up more than that. He's usually an aggressive scorer when he wants to be, and that was a perfect opportunity for him to take more than 5 shots. It's like the passive Tobias personality went into Oubre's head.
Yeah, interesting about his minutes.
I mean, outside of Maxey and Joel, nobody really shot the ball.
No,
more than 5 or 6 times.
6, 6 is the highest of anyone. Yeah. And Batum was 4 or 5, so him too. Be nice for him to be a little more aggressive, but that's just not Batum's nature. But that is an Oubre. I've seen Oubre take 17 shots when Maxey and
it's harder though. It's harder though if it's not a part of the plan. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Y'all keep saying we got this great and offense that's so great and special, then why are we talking about this? We can't be a team that Joel and Maxey got to shoot great for us to win.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you all said, right? You said that it was so great for everybody else and guys were the free flowing and everybody would get shots. And so what are we talking about?
I mean, we're talking about being 7 of 29 from 3. That unless that team shoots worse than you, you're probably going to lose that game.
Yeah.
Maxey 1 of 8 didn't help from 3. It's probably one of his worst games shooting of the season.
Yeah. I didn't even notice the 1 of 8. Wow, that's rough.
It's brutal. Most of his misses came from 3.
Yeah. That leads us
I mean,
into
they
a
were
segue
12 for 28. I mean, they weren't much better.
It's true.
I mean, five more makes with 1 less attempt. I'll take that. It's 15 points. What did we lose by? We lost by 12.
12, yeah.
Victory.
That was garbage time. We came back at the end.
They were 12 for 28, and we were what?
7 of 29. It's pretty bad.